Hey guys, Dean here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Facebook ads testing strategy for what I do when I test brand new products in e-com. I have one product which is working pretty decently right now, which I'm kind of experimenting with, and I'm going to be showing you the method which I use to actually test that product. Now, testing is a little bit different to scaling, so I'm going to also make a video on my scaling strategy, which is a little bit different and involves broad targeting, but for testing, we're going to be using interest targeting. Let's jump into it. Okay, so now I'm in the Facebook Ads Manager. So I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So this is kind of like a method which everyone uses, right? Most people use this method, but it's still the best method for testing because you can test fully broad, but you don't really always get the results from the get-go. It's best to actually interest target first to get a little bit of data on your pixel. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we just click on create, and obviously as usual we're going to optimize for sales, and we're going to use a manual sales campaign. We don't want to go with Advantage Plus unless we've got some kind of data or some successful campaigns already. This is pretty decent if you've already got like a really good broad targeting campaign. Works for some people, doesn't work for others. We're going to go with manual sales campaign, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to give the manual sales campaign a name. So that would be your product. So in this case, I'm just going to show you an example of a really mainstream product, which I'm not actually going to test because I think it's a little bit oversaturated and might be dead, I'm not sure. This is the mini pocket printer, which you've probably seen. And then we're going to type in test ABO, which is ad set budget optimization, which we're going to be using. And then I'm just going to put a dash. Today is the 3rd of the 12th, 23, but the next day is the 4th, and we usually run it at midnight. So that's basically telling you the product, what type of campaign it is. It's a test, ABO, and the date you've actually launched it. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to scroll down. You're going to ignore advantage campaign budget. That basically just means CBO. That's like the new word for CBO. That's basically a budget on the actual campaign level, and it evenly spreads out your budget distributed between your ad sets on what basically is performing the best. We don't want to do that because we want equal spend on each ad set to see which interests actually work. So then what we can go ahead and do is just press on next. Now ad set 1, we're just going to leave this name for now. We'll change it in a moment. And you want to go and maximize number of conversions, and then the conversion event should be purchase. Now there's going to be a section here where you select your Facebook pixel, and then you basically select the conversion event. So it's letting me select the conversion event here, but I don't have a pixel on this ad account. But that's pretty self-explanatory. You just select your pixel and then optimize for purchase. That's really important. Our daily budget for the ad set, a lot of people recommend £10 or $10. I actually recommend £15 or $15. You can go with 10 and it does work, especially if the interest is really good. But if you go with 15, it's going to be more than enough per ad set. I'd recommend £15 or $15 per ad set. That seems to work the best, or at least in my experience. A little bit more of a spend, it gives you more data. Some interests take £15 to actually get some add to carts for a purchase, and some even take like 25 per purchase. It really depends on your margins. So the start date should basically be the next day. So today's the 3rd in the morning. The next day is going to be the 4th, and then also that would be 12 a.m. right? So 12:00, that starts at midnight, and then basically that will start at the very beginning of the day. You want to do it at the beginning of the day so you get even spend throughout the day, and you also get the full spend throughout the day, because sometimes Facebook doesn't spend. And also if you're scheduling it ahead of time, then you have time for it to obviously process, go through the review thing, get approved, and then obviously run. So that's why we do that. You can ignore this audience type. This probably won't be here when you select your pixel anyway, but you want to select find prospective customers even if they haven't interacted with your business. If you do see this, that's obviously so we can find new prospects. Retargeting is for people who have seen your ad but they haven't purchased. We do that later when we've got some more sales and data. Locations, this really doesn't matter too much. It depends where you actually want to market this product. United States and Canada are going to be extremely saturated. I originally come from the UK, so I do target the UK sometimes, which is a fairly decent market. It's not very popular with dropshippers. They don't usually target the UK, but for a particular product which I'm actually selling right now, I seem to get some sales here. Most people, they recommend targeting the big 4. You can do that. So that would be United States, Canada, Australia, and then New Zealand. Now, this is kind of like a broad targeting in terms of the countries. You want to see basically after you test where are most of your sales coming from, and then the next campaign you can just, like for an example, target only US and Canada, or only US and Australia for an example. So this is kind of testing where we get the most sales with. The smaller your budget, the less countries you kind of want to target, because it's going to spread it between all these different nationalities, but it doesn't really matter at this point. New Zealand, also Netherlands is pretty good. They have quite high spend. That's a good European country to target. Only problem about Netherlands is they do have some some stricter policies on ads. So if you are doing like ads that show skin or beauty products, which usually will get denied in a lot of cases, Netherlands is a key place where you'll get your ads rejected for those industries. So just be careful about that. There's some other ones which I like too. I think Denmark's quite good. Sweden, those Scandinavian countries have quite high spend. They're good for Europe. But for the most part, these are the countries I usually target. So these countries, which we have 2, 4, 5, 6, those are pretty good picks. These countries we have about 6, those are good picks. If we scroll down, Advantage Plus Audience, we're not actually going to use this because we're on an ABO test campaign. This is quite good when we're on a scaling CBO because it basically uses Facebook's AI based on your customer data to actually find the right customers. We want to use the original audience settings because we're targeting interests. Ignore some of this information here. This is just because I haven't actually selected a pixel, which when you select the pixel, you won't get those errors. So if I scroll down, as you can see, we have detailed targeting. So this is where we can target our interests. So this strategy is basically the same as a lot of other strategies. We're going with minimum $100 a day or £100 a day, whatever your currency is, and up to $150 because like I said, I usually like to have £15 or $15 per ad set. We're using one interest per ad set. So in this is where we search for our interests. This product is a pocket printer. So basically you've got to use a little bit of common sense, right? We could do consumer electronics, computers and electronics, that's one interest, which would make sense. It's a pocket printer, it's not like a computer printer, but this is a big audience. This is 210 million or 200 something million, which is pretty cool. Beneficiary, just type in your company name. So I'm just going to type in company name, leave Advantage Plus placements on, copy this interest that we just selected. I'm going to scroll up and we're going to paste that as the ad set name. So the ad set should basically have the same name as the actual interest we're selecting for this ad set. Press next. Now we're going to the ad level. I do want to mention one thing that I forgot is you can change the age and gender. I'd leave the age to 18 to 65 plus. This is in the ad set level. Genders, obviously, if it's a female only product, you can target female only, which I do sometimes. Then what you need to do is you need to select your Facebook page that you want to use. I'm going to click on create ad, manual upload, single image or video. From here, we can actually add media. We're going to click add media, add video. Now you should be creating these ad creatives yourself. You can also rip them, but if you rip ad creatives and steal them, your CPMs might be higher, so that means you'll have to pay more per 1,000 impressions. If you rip creatives, it just increases the CPM sometimes. My best advice is if you don't know how to actually get ad creatives, I'd get them from an actual agency or service that does them. Now Viral Ecom Ads is probably the best agency out there that make ad creatives, and they've been what I've used in the past to actually make some of my creatives, which I've used for the winning products which I've actually sold on Facebook. Now, when you've actually picked the product that you want to test, you're going to have the problem where you don't have creatives, or you need to get some creatives to actually test on your ads. Now, with Q4 coming up real soon, there's a lot of buzz right now on trying to get a winning product early, now that it's the start of Q4, as we run up towards Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we need to be testing these products early now so we can scale them when that buying intent comes to make a ton of sales. And we're all hustling right now to find that winner. So what I would be doing right now is I'd be trying to get some ad creatives, but if you don't know where to start, there are some services out there to actually use. Now, when I was first actually trying dropshipping and I had no idea how to make winning ad creatives, I actually stumbled onto Viral Ecom Ads, which is probably the website that most people are going to find out about first. You might hear about them on YouTube like I did, or you might find them on Google search, and these guys are legit. I've actually ordered some ad videos from these guys before, and they've actually performed pretty well. Now, I actually emailed Viral Ecom Ads to see if I could get a better deal for my viewers so that you guys can actually get a good deal on your ad creatives. And basically, the guys who run this website have actually been successful with ecom themselves, right? They've made millions of dollars and they've used that exact formula when they create these video ads. You can be sure that you're getting the best chance possible. Now, there's a few different packages on this website. Now, you can see the VIP program over here is something that I found pretty cool about this website. They give you some pretty big discounts on all of the ad packages if you're actually part of their VIP program, and you get some significant discounts here and speedier delivery. So you actually get 24-hour video ad delivery. So if you need those ads like real quick to test the products, this is just like having your own personal editor that just does the work, gets it done real quick. And I'd go with this one if you tested multiple products. Like, let's say you want to test like 2 or 3 products to try and get that winner quickly before Q4. You could just join this and then they'll just send you all the videos in like 24 hours and you can just run them up on Facebook, because time is of essence when you're trying to run products. You don't want to be wasting time at all, right? Now, I never actually used to do Facebook ads, but the main one which I I used was actually TikTok split testing. The TikTok split testing package is what I actually genuinely use myself when I was running TikTok ads. I actually got some success on TikTok at the start, but then my product got saturated and then also my ad account got banned. So I had to stop doing TikTok ads. But these ads for TikTok were actually making me a decent amount of sales with this female product I was running. So I can give you some real experience on these, that these actually worked for me. But if you do want to run Facebook ads, you can also order one of these two packages too. You can go with the split testing package, which gives you 4 ad variants, or you can go for the normal video ad package too. Remember, split testing is actually for people who want to run multiple ads and get data on which ones work the best. So you're going to get the best deal on this one. But one thing that mainly stands out on this website for me is if you have a look at UGC ads. UGC is user generated content, right? When you go on TikTok and you see those brands with like really high quality ads where there's actually like an influencer doing it or like people giving real social proof, you can't really get that if you just steal clips of a random product. There's no like authenticity. But if you order like one of these UGC ads, so for an example, if we get like the split testing package or like one TikTok or Facebook ad, whichever number you need, obviously the more you get, the better deal you'll get. But let's say we just order one of these, we'll actually get like a real influencer reviewing our product, talking about our product, and then people who watch the ad, it just appears like it's organic content. So when you're running ads on Facebook or TikTok, getting like a UGC ad will make it look like organic content, and that's kind of the strategy you want to go for. I've noticed that most ads that actually convert, they're just organic or they look like organic videos. Even on Facebook now, I'm starting to see that's a trend. So when people are scrolling through their feed, they're just consuming like random content, right? Like real videos, like pranks and dogs videos and cat videos. So when your ad comes up, you want your ad to look like a normal video they would consume. So a UGC video looks like an organic video, right? It looks like just like a woman reviewing the product, for an example. So this one probably would be the type of ads you actually want to get that would probably convert, right? So if you're big on authentic content, this is probably like one of the best styles you want to order, like genuinely. My personal experience, like I can say that the delivery on the ads were pretty quick. You're talking like, I believe 1 to 3 day turnaround, really quick turnaround on the service. And I found it really useful. I actually used this, I think it was 2020 or 2021. In Q4, I was running TikTok ads for a female product. I used the service. I got a bunch of creatives to split test. One of them worked and I got, I think like 30 to 35 sales of the product. Not a crazy amount, but it did actually work, right? But yeah, depending on what you need, you can even get animated video packages, UGC ads, there's a whole bunch of things. And like I said, I did manage them to give me a deal so you guys can get a better discount on this. So you can use my link in the description down below. It helps me out, and also you can get some pretty good ad creatives to run up on Facebook and TikTok and get your products to work. Okay, so after you upload your creatives, basically what we need is primary text and headlines. So this is going to be the actual copy of the ad. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to make the copy. You need to have some kind of copywriting skills, but the headline should be something that grabs the attention of someone. So I've just got a really basic copy in here. So this headline, as you can see, is kind of long. Transform your ideas into reality. That's kind of like a cool hook. And we could actually remove this part. We've also got some emojis in there. Description, that's usually something which gets overlooked, but you could just type in 50% off and free shipping today only. Call to action should always be shop now, because people need to actually know what they need to do to take the next step. Shop now is obviously optimized for a sale. Primary text is the actual copy of our ad. So this is usually something which people read, but most people don't read it. This is what I've done. So it's usually some kind of like hook which has emojis in. Then there's like a list of benefits about the product. Then you have your offer here, and then at the bottom there's basically like adding scarcity, like saying there's limited quantity of it, click shop now and begin, that kind of template. You can pause the video and read it and kind of look how I've actually made it. I have a very specific structure for the copy of these ad copy segments that I make, and they're obviously based on what I've learned about copywriting. It's basically based on the book I read, $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. I've basically included everything in the copy. If you don't know that book, I'd really recommend reading it, but maybe I'll do a video on that if you want me to do a video on copywriting in the future. The website URL should be your shop. You should paste this from your product link. I don't actually have this product link in my store, so I'm just going to type in a random URL. So this should be the link to your product page directly, so they don't have to find it or click on anything, which removes the friction. So I'm just going to type in shop.com/printer for an example. Let's just say that's my product. Preview URL will open your website. Now in this case, it's actually a fake website. It goes to some website that looks like some scam. This is actually a store, which is quite good because we can pretend that this is our store. So our link's going to go directly to our product product page. In the URL parameters, Facebook doesn't always track metrics very accurately, especially after the iOS update, and just generally sometimes they report like fake purchases or they just don't show it. So in URL parameters, you want to paste this code over here. This is basically the code for a UTM. You can pause the video, have a look at this code and basically type it in manually. And this basically gives you more accurate reporting. You can also use the UTM reports in Shopify. I'm not going to explain that too much because it'll waste too much time in the video, but I'd recommend to add that. Now all we do from here is we basically just press quickly duplicate, and you want to basically just change the video here, edit media, change video. Then you can upload your other ad creatives in here because you usually want to run at least like 3 to 5, and copy this ad with quickly duplicate or duplicate as many times as you need, and then upload all your other ads. Now when we're done with that, you want to click on the ad set level where it says consumer electronics and duplicate from there. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to actually create the campaign, basically you want to duplicate the ads and then add your different creatives and then duplicate the interest 10 times and add a different interest on each ad set. After you actually run the campaign and it goes live, this is how it's going to look. Okay, so each of these here, even though I've blurred them out, these are actually all individual interests in a different campaign which I was actually running. Now this isn't a product which I actually sold, so I'm not running this campaign, but these are all individual interests. So you can see I have 10 ad sets here at the bottom, and I tested 10 interests, and they were budgeted at £10 each, so that's basically $10 each, and I tested basically with $100. Now I spent £81 or $81. On Facebook ads, I'm going to use pounds and dollars interchangeably. They have different values as a currency, but on Facebook, $100 and £100, that's basically what you should spend, okay? So if you're American, spend $100. If you're English, spend £100, okay? The pound is worth more than the dollar, but on Facebook, it doesn't really matter. The spend numbers are interchangeable for your currency, right? So I tested these interests, and as you can see, this particular product which I'm showing you absolutely flopped. So this is why I'm showing you this product. So we didn't actually get any purchases for this whole campaign, so this was an absolute loser product, but we got add to carts. Okay, so we had one add to cart here, an initiate checkout but no sale, and an add to cart on this interest. Which ad set should we kill after we test? Well, this ad set spent £8.15 and it got an add to cart. Okay, so I didn't even spend the full amount on this. I think this campaign, even though it was basically a loser product, I could have kept it going and it might have actually been profitable, but I think I was running out of money at the time when I tested this, because this is one I tested but way before Halloween, right? So this ad set that had the add to cart, it didn't spend the full £10 that I set for the budget, so I could actually leave this on, which I actually did before I turned off the campaign. And then this other interest, which spent a similar amount, $8.25, not the full £10, also got one initiate checkout. So these two interests show buying intent from the customers who've seen the ads, so I could leave these ad sets on, and anything else that spent money, like I turned these ad sets off for an example because they had no stats. Anything basically in the first £10 or $10 of ad spend which doesn't have any add to carts, you want to turn it off. Okay, no add to carts or purchases after £10, you want to turn it off. Run it for the full £10 or $10 first. Anything that has no stats and it also has a terrible click-through rate means that the people targeted in those interests didn't even engage with your video. Turn those off, unless obviously you have purchases. You want to prioritize purchases and initiate checkouts and add to carts, okay? Anything that doesn't have those, turn them off after $10 ad spend. You could go up to $15 ad spend or £15 ad spend, like I said before, that's better. But if there's no add to carts or purchases by then, just turn them off. If you test 10 different interests and none of them have any buying intent, then you basically want to look at your funnel. So is your website trustworthy? Is it good? For an example, if the click-through rate is high, like this says 1.79%, anything around 2% in my opinion is actually fairly decent. Anything above 1% it can be profitable. If your click-through rate's fairly high, it's like 1 to 2% plus, then people are actually clicking on your ad, but you're not delivering on the ad page. So they click your ad and maybe your product's too expensive, or maybe your website looks scammy, or it's too much friction before they can actually buy the product. They don't want any kind of added steps in between. Maybe you have like the multi-page checkout system still and you haven't updated to one-page checkout, which doesn't usually matter because if your product's good, they'll still buy. You want to actually look at your funnel, because if people are clicking on your ad and it has a high click-through rate, and even if it has like checkouts initiated or add to carts but they don't finish the purchase, then it might not actually be your campaign. So you need to look at these things before you actually kill them, because you might have a product which may work if you change a few vectors or variables variables, right? So don't always kill your product too quickly. One thing I found is the current product, which I'm currently selling, is making quite a lot of sales. It didn't look like a loser product, but it looked like it wasn't going to work at first. So what I did is I tested more than 10 interests, okay? So if 10 interests don't work, but there's more you can test and you have a high budget, it might be worth testing more interests. Now, most gurus just tell you, oh, okay, let's test 5 to 10 interests. If it doesn't work, kill it. But there's more steps in between that need to actually be adjusted. So look at all these variables first, all these key performance indicators on our ad manager, and then test more interests. You might have to test 20 or 30 interests before you get some that work. This testing strategy, we want to make sure the product's profitable. So you need to know your break-even ROAS. So that's the number where you're going to break even. There's calculators online. I'll try and remember to link them down below. If not, you can find them. That's basically like dividing the cost of goods by like the purchase price or something like that. It'll calculate the break-even ROAS, and then anything at that level is break-even. Anything above it is profit. So find that first before you run your ads. If it's very high, if it's above a 2, then you probably need to get either a cheaper product which has cheaper cost of goods, or you need to price your product higher. If people won't pay for that premium price, you need to source the actual product cheaper. So you need to look at like different people, different suppliers like CJ Dropship and Zendrop, try and find the cheapest one. And if you can't find any cheaper, then move on, because if people won't pay the higher price, then it's going to be hard to make it profitable if you can't find it cheaper. So you've got to do one of those two things to get a lower break-even ROAS number. I usually sell products up to about 1.7 break-even, but if I'm doing a bundle, sometimes it's even close to the 2 mark. If they buy 2 items for a discount, the break-even's like at 2. And once you've got your break-even ROAS, basically on your ad campaign, it will say purchase ROAS, and there'll be a number here. So let's say your ad campaign's at a 3 ROAS, or your ad set's at a 3 ROAS, and your break-even is 1.6, then that's wildly profitable. So what you do is you leave that interest on and see if it performs consistently. If it performs consistently, then that would be a winning interest. And then you put that into its own CBO with one ad set with the one interest in that worked, and scale it. Now I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video, because I need to do a follow-up video actually explaining the whole process. This is just how to actually test the products. Leave any comments and questions down below if you didn't actually understand this video, or if you have any questions on how to do this, and I'll be more than happy to help. If there's any steps you don't understand, let me know. I'll help you guys out. Maybe some parts of this video might have been moving too fast, or maybe be a bit misleading, or maybe I didn't explain things too much, so I'll be happy to answer any questions down below. You can also join my Discord in the description down below too. I basically use that as kind of like a diary of my results. So if I have like good or bad days, I'll post about them, or when I'm testing new products, just to show people like the realistic process. Because you see all these gurus saying, oh, I made 100k in 7 days or something, but they don't show you the actual steps where they failed, or the days where they didn't get a very good ROAS or good results. So I'm posting kind of like a log of like most of my days of advertising in there, so you can see all my actual real progress and actually verify that I'm basically doing what I'm preaching on this channel, because there's too many fake gurus out there. So you can join my Discord and check that out. Also ask any questions. I also have in my Discord lots of free strategies for Facebook. I share a lot of PDFs that come directly from Facebook themselves. They email me a lot of PDFs, and I have like a lot of people who share new strategies with me, so I always share them in the Discord completely free. I want the Discord to be completely free right now and just keep adding value in there. If you need help with getting any kind of success on dropshipping and you just can't crack it, then there is loads of free videos on my channel. I also have a course down below. You can watch some of that course for free, and you can join the Discord for free. You can get started completely for free. But if you do just need that further assistance and help, then message me on Instagram, which is in my video description, if you need one-on-one coaching or guidance, and I'll help you get started to get some success with dropshipping. If you need that one-on-one help, that's the best way that I can help you. I'm only taking a handful of people, maybe like 1 or 2 or less than 5, because my focus is actually in dropshipping itself. I don't want to be one of these gurus that takes like tons of students, but if you do really need that help, then we can do a one-on-one. Just message me on Instagram and I'd be happy to help you guys get started and try and get success with dropshipping. So if you're interested about that, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know, and make sure to subscribe and like this video, because I'll be doing a lot of these free videos in the future to share everything that I learn completely free for you guys. There's going to be a ton of value on this channel. Thanks for watching.